So for skill 7, what we're supposed to do is first pick 4 numbers, and I picked 45, 135, 60, and 120. So with 45-degree triangle, we get the root 2 over 2, and root 2 over 2, and 1 is the hypotenuse. Root 2 over 2, root 2 over 2, and 1 is the hypotenuse, and all these were determined using the unit circle. And for this one, it's root 3 over 2 over 1 half, and then the hypotenuse is 1. So for tangent, we get opposite over adjacent, which is just plus or minus 1 because of opposite root 2 over 2, and then this is positive or negative. It could be 2 root 2 over 2, which is positive or negative 1. And then for this one, you get adjacent over hypotenuse, which is 1 over 2 over 1, which is just 1 over 2. So we can put all those in one equation and get this and set it equal to 0. What we do after that is we can put our first identity in, which is, or first we got to multiply these together, which would make it tan squared x minus 1, and then cos minus 1 over 2 equals 0. Then what we would do is we would put our first identity in. So after we get that, we know that sine squared x and sine squared x minus cosine squared x equals 1. So we can just replace this 1 with our identity, which would be tan squared x minus, since it's minus 1, we do minus sine x, and since it's minus 1, minus cosine squared x. This is also squared, actually. And then, so that's all for our first one. And this right here is our identity. Whoops. Originally, what it was like was minus, and the 1, and then it would be sine squared x plus cos squared x. And then after you distribute the minus, this is what you get. Equals 0. And what you can do after that is we got to find a second identity. So for my second identity, I chose tan 2x equals 2 tan x over 1 minus tan x, or tan squared x. So for this, we got to modify it a bit so that we can replace the tan squared x in this. So we got to find a way to make this tan squared x. So first what we do is find the reciprocal of both sides. What we do that is set this over 1, so 1 over tan 2x equals 1 minus tan squared x over 2 tan x. Then after that, what you would do is multiply both sides by 2 tan x. Multiply both sides by 2 tan x. So these two would cancel out. No, these two would cancel out. So we'd have 2 tan x over tan 2x equals 1 minus tan squared x. So that's the identity we're going to put in there. Oh wait, no, sorry, that's not the identity. First we got to get rid of this 1. So we would add the 1 onto the side. 2 tan x over tan x minus 1 equals negative tan squared x, but we want positive, so we multiply everything by negative 1 to get negative 2 tan x over tan 2x plus 1 equals tan squared x. So then we can use that tan squared x to put that into this tan squared x. So what we would have is negative 2 tan x over tan 2x plus 1, which is the identity that we just figured out, minus sine squared x minus cosine squared x board this off real quick. Cosine squared x, and then we have cosine x minus 1 over 2 from the very original problem equals 0. And then what we do is we have a third identity, which is just sine pi over 2 minus x is equal to cosine of x. Sure, done over here. Cosine x. So what we do is negative 2 tan x over tan 2x plus 1 minus sine squared x minus cosine squared x equals, not equals. So here's where we would put the other equation in, which is sine pi over 2 minus x minus 1 over 2. So this is our final equation. So the next step was to kind of work backwards and solve this. So to do that, we would first start off with the same equation, which is just negative 2 tan x plus 1 minus sine squared x minus cosine squared x and then sine pi over 2 minus x minus 1 over 2. Okay, so the first step is we would just get rid of this. We would put our, so we know that this whole thing right here is just tan squared x, so we just do tan squared x minus sine squared x minus cosine squared x and then we'd have sine pi over 2 minus x minus 1 over 2 equals 0. And the next thing we could replace is, we could replace the next two things, which are this whole thing right here is 1, and then this whole thing right here is cosine x cos squared x, and then so we have tan squared x minus sine squared x, minus 1 and then you'd have cosine x minus cosine x minus 1 over 2 equals 0. And finally, you would have tan equals positive or negative 1, and then cosine 1 over 2.